Right now, somewhere in your house, there is something you want. A snack, your phone, a show you've been saving for later. You could have it this second. But what if waiting 5 minutes could double it? Most people think this is a simple choice. It is not. The real answer is far stranger. In 1970, a psychologist named Walter Mischel sat preschoolers down at Stanford University, one at a time, in front of a single marshmallow. He told each child the same thing. You can eat this now. Or, if you wait until I come back, you can have two. Then he left the room. What happened next was recorded on grainy film. Some children ate the marshmallow the second the door closed. Others covered their eyes. Some sang to themselves. One child sniffed the marshmallow slowly, as if that alone might satisfy the craving. Michel wasn't just testing willpower. He wanted to know whether a 4-year-old's ability to wait could predict anything about the adult they would become. Years later, his research partner Yushi Shoda tracked down many of those same children as teenagers. The kids who waited longer scored higher on college entrance exams. Their parents described them as better at handling stress. On paper, they were doing better at almost everything. A single childhood moment, predicting a future more than a decade away. How is that possible? For 50 years, this test was told as a story about willpower, about which kids had discipline and which didn't. That version made a good headline. It was also mostly wrong. Your brain did not evolve in a lab. It evolved on a savanna, in a world where waiting for tomorrow's reward could mean starving tonight. If food was rare and it was in front of you, eating it now wasn't weakness. It was survival. Delaying gratification only makes sense if you believe later will actually come. That is the twist almost nobody talks about. In 2013, researcher Celeste Kidd ran a version of this test with a hidden variable. Before the marshmallow appeared, she split children into two groups. One experienced an adult who kept every small promise. The other experienced an adult who promised art supplies and never delivered. Then came the marshmallow children, who had just learned that adults keep their word. Waited 4 times longer than the children who had learned that promises don't always come true. Read that again. It was never about self-control. It was about trust. Your brain isn't asking, can I resist this? It's asking, based on everything I've learned about my world, is waiting even worth it? This reframes the entire original study. The children who grabbed the marshmallow immediately weren't failing a discipline test. They were making a rational bet, built on a short lifetime of evidence about whether adults deliver on promises. Less stability, less predictability. Teaches a brain that the smart move is the guaranteed reward now. So why did waiting still predict success later? Because waiting for a marshmallow and doing well in life aren't directly connected. They're both downstream of the same thing. A stable environment. A world that keeps its word. Poverty doesn't lower willpower. It lowers the expected value of waiting. Your ancestors carried this exact calculation everywhere. A hunter deciding whether to chase a fast, uncertain gazelle or settle for slower, guaranteed routes. There was no universal right answer. Only the answer that fit how reliable that world had proven to be. You inherited that same calculating machine. It still runs today, quietly, underneath decisions that only look like willpower. Think about why you check your phone the instant it buzzes, instead of finishing the sentence you're reading. It isn't weakness. Your brain has learned that new information rarely disappears if ignored. There is no cost to waiting, so waiting has no advantage. Someone raised where opportunities vanish if not seized instantly calculates differently, because their evidence was different. Even psychologist Angela Duckworth, who spent years studying what she called grit, found something similar. Grit didn't emerge from raw discipline alone. It grew in environments where perseverance was reliably rewarded, where the world showed up back. So the marshmallow test was never measuring the child. It was measuring the child's evidence about the world. And once you see that, the whole experiment flips. The reward was never the real variable. Trust was. Here's the part that should unsettle you. This same mechanism is still deciding things for you today, and you rarely notice it happening. Do you save money or spend it? That depends on how reliable your income has felt. Do you invest time in something slow or move on quickly? That depends on how often patience has paid off before. Do you finish long projects or abandon them halfway? That depends on how often the world has kept its promises to you. None of this is about how strong your willpower is. It never was. Every day, your brain runs the same ancient equation your ancestors ran beside a fire, deciding whether tomorrow is worth waiting for. You just call it something else now. Motivation, discipline, laziness, when it is really a forecast. So the next time you reach for the thing in front of you instead of waiting for something better, don't ask whether you have enough willpower. Ask what your life has taught you so far about whether waiting ever actually pays off. Because right now, somewhere in your house, there is something you want. And the real question was never whether you could resist it. It was whether anything in your life ever taught you that waiting was worth it in the first place.